January didn't start quietly. It exposed the market. Sales across Metro Vancouver remain well below normal. Inventory is sitting at levels that historically pressure prices, and buyers no longer are responding to rate cuts the way that most expected. It's a market that has lost urgency, and that change matters. So today, I'm not here to predict the bottom or react to headlines. I'm here to walk you through what January numbers are objectively telling us. I'm Javita Pinto, and welcome back to my channel. If you want to work with a pro, you can easily scan the QR code and book a call with me. I would love to hear from you. Today, I'm going to break down the data for Greater Vancouver, where the pressure is building, who still has the power, and why this market is far more uncomfortable for sellers than it appears on the surface. And the question isn't whether is it a buyer's market or a seller's market. That part is clear. The real question is, why is so much inventory sitting, even with massive price drops and improved borrowing conditions? Let's start with one stat that explains almost everything else: sales, because everything else in this market flows from this number. On January, just 1,107 homes sold across Metro Vancouver. That's nearly 29% fewer sales than January of last year. And more importantly, over 30% below the 10-year seasonal average. That matters, because these aren't minor fluctuations. We just came off the slowest sales year in 25 years, and now January is tracking 29% below that. That's massive. That's structural weakness. When sales fall this far below levels, we're no longer talking about seasonal or short-term hesitation. We're talking about participation altogether. As you know, this isn't a market with lack of inventory. It's not a market being shocked by sudden rate hikes. Yet, buyers are at a pause. In truth, the pause is perplexing. Low sales don't automatically mean distress, but persistent sales create pressure on pricing, on seller expectations, and on anyone who needs an outcome. And here's what matters most. When sales remain this far below historical norms for an extended period of time, prices do not correct in a single moment. They adjust slowly, they reprice unevenly, and poorly positioned listings are exposed first. That's what we're seeing right now. So the real question isn't whether sales will bounce back next month. The question is, how long are sellers willing or able to wait in an environment where fewer buyers are stepping forward? And that brings us to the next piece of the puzzle: inventory. Hey friends, quick pause. I have a favor to ask. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give this video a like and a subscribe to my channel. If you're already subscribed, I just want to take a moment to say thank you so much. Sales tells us whether buyers are taking action, and inventory tells us who holds the leverage. And the best way I think about this is absorption tells us how aggressive leverage really is. So let's talk about inventory, because this is where the pressure is really coming from. As of January, there were 5,157 newly listed homes for all product types, of a total of 12,628 active listings across Metro Vancouver. That's 10% higher than this time last year and 38% above the 10-year average of 9,153 for January. That's a 16-year high. Wow. Well, at that level, buyers set the terms. When inventory rises for multiple years while sales continue to fall, the market loses its ability to absorb pricing mistakes. That's when price discovery accelerates. This goes beyond seasonality. For the fifth year in a row, inventory has rebuilt faster than demand. And here's where that becomes even clearer. The composite sales to active listing ratio in January was 9.1%. That means 9 out of every 100 active listings are selling each month. Let that sit in for a beat. Historically, anything below that 12% signals a buyer's market. At 9%, this isn't just about buyer territory, it's about buyer dominance. This is leverage, and buyers have it. Let's break it down by product type. Detached homes are sitting at 6.7%, which is firmly buyer territory. Townhomes are at 11.1%, and it's just hovering around that below balance. And condos at 10.3%. In a 9% market, the question isn't, what is my home worth? If you are selling, it's understanding that you're competing for attention. It's why would a buyer choose mine over dozens they're ignoring? Now let's talk about pricing, because this is where the conversation gets distorted. What's happening in Vancouver right now is not a price collapse. And yet, transparently, they are plummeting. I'm helping buyers on a regular basis purchase properties below the assessed value and below where the sellers actually purchased the home. I was reading a quote the other day by Benjamin Graham, and it kind of reminded me of where we are now. The market is a pendulum that forever swings between unsustainable optimism and unjustifiable pessimism. The intelligent investor is a realist who sells to the optimists and buys from the pessimists. Across all property types, the benchmark price is $1,101,900, which is down 1.2% from December 2025. The bigger number is 5.7% decrease year over year. Drifting markets are quieter than crashing ones, and they're often harder for sellers to accept. So month by month, values keep slipping. This is not a single event. We can literally see the sustained pressure. As we move through 2026, I don't expect a sharp rebound. And I don't expect a dramatic collapse. What I expect is continuation. Continuation of selective demand and continuation of elevated inventory, and continued pressure on pricing in segments where absorption remains below 10%. If sales remain 20 to 30% below historical averages, prices will continue to adjust. If absorption begins climbing towards that 15%, that's when stabilization starts. That's the level to watch. If you're thinking about buying or selling this year, the right move isn't to keep waiting. It's to understand your goals and control your narrative. If you found this useful, send it to someone who's making a housing decision in 2026. Everything I share with you here is based on real transactions and real negotiations that are happening in this market right now. To stay connected with me and to learn how these numbers impact you, you can scan the QR code to book a call with me. I'm Javita Pinto. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.